Hello, hello, hello.
We have to go back.
I think we are. First of all, we have to try to get as close as we can.
Okay.
Well, let's try to right outside. Yeah. We can pick it up at 10. We'll probably push it right back.
We have to go back.
I think we are.
Hello, hello, hello. And we are live. Hello. How you doing, Seb?
Not too bad, man. I do feel like I've been impaled on a pelican, though.
That's quite fitting actually, because we're talking about a film. Oh.
Is it, though?
Could
Could you qualify this as a film?
Well, as Mo Berry just completely rightly said, I take full responsibility for my part in having caused innocent lives to watch or talk about this film. And you're right, it is your fault, Mo Berry. I hope you I basically
Get out.
No, don't get out. I need the viewers.
It's
Seb.
true. Please stay.
Seb, more viewers I have, the more money Twitch has to pay me. So yes, hello everybody, and welcome to the Bowling Alley. More specifically, the Edgy Boi Picture Show, which of course is our weekly podcast where we talk about the film of the week. Which just a reminder for everyone: if you subscribe or if you donate any money, then we will take your film suggestions and watch them within reason. Obviously, sometimes I'll set limiters or things. Speaking of, next week, thanks to Shaney Rollins, we're going to be watching Donnie Darko.
Which is a film.
This is actually
It's actually a
It's
film.
actually a film. Saturday night on my Discord. If you're not already part of my Discord, just hit ! Discord. You can join the Discord. We're going to be watching it in the drive-in voice chat. And yeah, so we're going to be watching this on Saturday night. Usually we start around 10 p.m. UK time. Oh no. So Isla has subscribed to me.
I saw.
12
I'm down.
Dancing Princesses Barbie film. If it's on any streaming platform, or if you want to buy it for me, which by the way, I have an Amazon wish list now. So if anyone wants to buy me things off of my Amazon wish
Do you?
list, I do. So if anyone wants to buy
Nice.
me things off my Amazon wish list, anyway.
I mean, just real quick, 12 Dancing Princesses is good, but it's no Princess and the Pauper. Like,
I mean, I can't believe you're not gonna talk about the absolute GOAT, which is the Rockers one. I can't even remember the name. It's like where they go to a camp rock, basically. Like pop stars versus I can't even remember. It doesn't matter. Sadly, it's not, but it is a class film. No need to actually do it though. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, as much as I can, stick to not 12 Dancing Princesses the best one, but Swan Lake and Pauper is good too. Insanity. Anyway,
should we talk about this flaming dumpster fire of a...
everybody, yeah. So, welcome back to the Bowling Alley. I, of course, being the man who is actually behind all of the rows of pins, throwing your ball back at you. That isn't Machine, that's me down there. And Seb, of course, being the person who polishes all the pins for them to get covered in pizza grease from fingers from bowling balls. Sebastian Wrightson.
That's great.
And I'm Sammy Pauling. Hey, Sammy P, or any other nickname you want to call me. Cool. So yeah, we are of course talking about Roadhouse 2, a film that I did not know existed. So if you've been watching the Edgy Boi Picture Show for a little while now, you'll know that Roadhouse came out in 1989, is my favorite bad movie of all time. I've seen it approximately 8 times, and I will never get tired of watching this film. I love it. Recently, we did a podcast episode on here, which you can watch on our YouTube channel, pluggity plug. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Also titled Edgy Boi Picture Show.
Edgy Boi Picture Show. I'll after this stream, I'll put a link in the bio so that you can all. Hey, Unoriginal Gogi cheered 100 bits. Oh my god! Thank you so much. Really appreciate you for cheering those bits. Just to get to the top of the leaderboard. Nice one. I think Isla's beaten you by quite a bit. But yeah, so and if you are watching this on YouTube, what are you doing? You could have been watching us live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Sammy_P71, Mondays 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Weekly leaderboard.
Why
Okay.
did you say it like that?
Well, it's because because we're starting right now and it's 3:45.
3.
I would be at the top if it's of all time. Oh, you would 100. I think you've cheered. I actually have a list. You've cheered. I believe it's 150. I might be completely wrong there, but I think you've cheered 150. Anyway, yes, we are talking about Roadhouse 2, which was a straight-to-TV sequel to Roadhouse, which had none of the original cast, not even the original director. And I also don't believe... Unoriginal Cocky cheered for. Wow. Thank you for
Yes.
that. This film came out in 2006, straight to TV. I can't tell you the channel because I've forgotten. I have to imagine it's some just terrible backlog channel.
How much on bet it's like the Sci-Fi Channel? It has no sci-fi elements.
Not even the same production company. I have the DVD here. So, how the hell they managed to get the rights to Roadhouse? Or did they even have to? I don't know. This could be completely fan-made, but they got sold together. So, clearly there's some interaction involved. They were both made by MGM. Hey! Oh my god, Unoriginal Goggy, thank you so much for that subscription. Really appreciate you, man. And just so you're aware, when you subscribe to me, if you give me a film, Seb and I have to watch it. So tell me your film suggestion. Doesn't have to be right now. We're keeping a list right now. Anyway,
I don't remember what's on the list. I think I've just been.
You have the
list. My mind
list.
has been cleared after watching Roadhouse 2.
After
I
watching
do
Roadhouse.
have the list.
You have the list. That's.
Yeah.
I was relying on you. I just remember it was Donnie Darko because Shaney wanted Donnie Darko.
And then Moberry was going to suggest another film.
Oh,
as she did, but then took it back.
Gross Point Blank as well. We need to watch Gross Point Blank.
Yes. And then someone suggested a Wes Anderson film, I think.
Oh, wait, really quick. I just got a spam bot. So one sec. I just need to ban the spam bot. Ban.
That means you've made it.
I know.
You
I
know
got
that,
a,
right?
I got a spam bot, so I have to. It is a bit cringe. Not gonna lie.
That is a bit cringe, not gonna lie.
Oh, their name is WASDBQ12393. Oof.
You're right, Isla. The Scooby-Doo movies are elite.
Ban them.
But
Cool. They got banned. We're all good.
nice.
But yeah, the Scooby-Doo movies are elite. So
But
yeah,
let's be honest,
so
Sammy.
anything Wes Anderson, I'm gonna call out Grand Budapest then, because I want to own that on DVD. And I now have a rule
choice.
where if I can, I'm gonna try and buy physical copies of all the films we watch. Which is, it started because Roadhouse 2 you can only get on DVD. This is not available anywhere. You cannot stream this. You can't even buy a digital version from Amazon Prime. You have to buy a DVD, which on top of that, there isn't even a single DVD. You have to buy the double set with both of them.
So I saw a review of this movie,
Oh, good. Please
and
tell me
all
what
it
it is.
all it said was, "Don't watch this movie. Just rewatch the original."
Yeah, no, 150%.
And I was like, "Yes."
Or Moberry said, I think my movie should be something Kevin Smith. Sure.
Dogma, maybe.
Dogma, yeah.
I have seen-
I might have to buy a second-hand copy of Dogma because Weinstein owns the rights to Dogma.
Yeah, because he's a loser.
The best films are the ones that didn't get a theatrical release or DVD released. That's how you know it's peak quality. That's how you know it's peak something. But yeah. Hey, Morgy Boy redeemed Hydrate. Thank you so much for that. For that Hydrate.
I'm drinking Gatorade.
And I'm
So you're
drinking water that's not cold because my tap is broken. Oh, we love lukewarm water.
Why didn't you buy some ice?
Because I have to walk to shops.
Sorry, I'm getting my water.
I don't
was shooting
drive.
James.
Cool. So I'm
Jersey
gonna
girl.
I'm gonna try and restructure how we do the podcast, because what usually happens is we'll go scene by scene and explain what happened in every scene, which we realize we run out of time to actually talk about the film itself. So what I am gonna say is, if you haven't watched the film, I'm sorry. Maybe come back and watch this on YouTube later on or something, because I'm not gonna keep going through. I don't want to keep explaining films because it means that we have less time to actually talk about them.
Yeah.
So from now on, if you want to watch the films with us, you can do that on Saturday nights, UK time, 10 p.m. On the drive-in. which is in my Discord channel. So that's the last thing I'm going to say on that. So just to preface
To
that,
answer your question, Isla, yes, I do have to drink when someone redeems the hydrate me.
yes,
I think it's only fair that we suffer together.
I've been forced to watch many awful films by my friends. Yeah, you have to. Cool. So yeah, so I'm not going to go through the film. So I'm sorry if that ostracizes you, but it just means that we can actually talk about stuff for longer.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to talk about this film. Seb, I want to talk about this film. Can we talk about it?
Just to say that I can sum up this plot in 2 sentences.
Go on then. Oh, whoop. Isla redeemed posture check. Make sure you got good posture. Thank you, Isla, for that posture check.
So for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, this is what the plot is. A man returns to his small hometown to defend against local thugs.
That's pretty much it.
So, basically, do you know what I'm thinking?
What are you
this
thinking?
plot, this movie has the same plot as Footloose.
I'm gonna say no.
Prove it. You can't prove it.
I can prove it because there was not enough illegal dancing in Roadhouse 2. I think maybe that would have made this film if there was illegal dance music. You know?
Yeah. This movie, man. This movie.
So
I'm excited
we are
to hear what you have
following.
to say
Right.
about
Let me just do a little tiny synopsis. So we are following this man. Oh, and in case you're wondering, who are those girls who are on the front? Clearly they must be important because they're on the front. They are in 2 scenes.
Do you know why they are?
Because boobies, I'm assuming.
It's an homage to the first film where you see that woman get into a red... It's like she gets into a red car or she's a red-headed woman and you see her in the opening scene and then never again in the rest of the movie.
It's just...
And that was the director's homage to the first film.
That's so stupid. Boobies, yeah. Exactly. Which, by the way, just going to preface, this is going to be a mature... I try not to swear on this, but we're going to swear. So, if swearing and sexual content makes you uncomfortable in any way, maybe this one isn't for you. But yeah, so we are going to be talking about pretty raunchy PG-13 stuff. So that's the warning out of the way. Right. This film fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So just a little background on me. I am in post production, which is basically, in case you're unaware, I'm a film student. And one of my courses is post production, which is what happens after the production, which means editing. So in post, the class that I'm taking, basically because we can't film anything, we've been given a bunch of stock footage that we have to edit together ourselves, right? And I said this while watching this film. This entire film seems like stock footage. And if you've ever had to work with stock footage in any way, shape, or form, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because there's no thought. It isn't artistic. The people are all there just because they kind of have to be. And no one really cares about what's going on. It really is just a bunch of stock footage put together. You know, it is not a film that someone was like, this is gonna be my Citizen Kane. Like, no one was thinking this is my magnum opus. Not a single person was like, yeah, this is the film that I made, that I'm gonna sign my name on. I can't even remember his name. It's like Scott something, like Zeal?
Shane
Zeal?
I think it's Shane.
He had a weird last name. It literally
Shane Top,
doesn't
maybe?
matter. Shane Top?
Shane Tanner. Shane Tanner.
No, that was the main character. I said director.
Oh, I thought you meant the... Oh,
No,
sorry.
No. I said main character. Shane Tanner was
Scott Zeal.
Scott Zeal. It was Zeal.
Yeah, Scott Zeal.
Oh.
Do you know what, though? There is one actor in this movie that gave it his all the entire way through. And I think you know who I'm talking about.
You're about to say Gary Busey's son.
I'm going to say Gary Busey's. I thought it was his brother.
No, it's his son.
There's no way that's his son.
That is his son, because Jake Busey is 79. Sorry, Jake Busey is 49 and Gary Busey is 76.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Oh no!
Never question me on my never question me on my Busey knowledge.
Classic Busey.
Classic
He
Busey.
gave it his all.
He
Um,
he did. Like, he was bad at it, but it wasn't for lack
Yeah.
of trying.
Yeah, and also he looked like Guy Fieri.
He did. Oh, he did. I
was-
literally,
I
when we were
was-
watching the film, he came on with his bleach blonde hair and his flames on his shirt, and I went, "Is that star of Drive-Ins, whatever, and Dives, Guy Fieri?" This entire film it reeks of straight to TV. It reeks of, this is a film that was made. He was not good. He wasn't, but goddamn did he try.
Yeah.
You know? Big up Wild Bill, which he is canonically known as. How do you know someone isn't wild? They've got wild in their name. Jesus Christ.
What are you talking about? He kissed that girl in a hot tub.
Which, this is another thing I wanted to talk about, because
Okay.
so I brought this up, and I swear I will let you talk, but I need to get this off of my chest, because Roadhouse is
No, go for it,
it's
man.
my favorite bad film, so I need to talk about this. Roadhouse was released in theaters in 1989, set in the mid-80s, right? So let's give them
God,
let's
yeah.
give them the roundabout ballpark figure of it was released in, let's say it's set in 85, right? It was released in 89, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it was about 85 it was meant to be set in, right? So that would mean that Shane Tanner, which by the way is Dalton's son, which completely boggles my mind, because first of all, Dalton has a first name, as we learned last whenever we did Roadhouse, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, anyway. So we learned that Dalton has a first name, which is James, and we also learn in this film that Dalton has a kid. Cool. What's his last name, you ask me? It's Tanner. Where the fuck did Tanner come from? Where is that name from? Because Seb brought this up to me when we watched the film. He said, well, the uncle's name, the uncle who raised him, his last name is Tanner. But then I thought, why is his last name Tanner?
So,
Because the woman, the doctor that he that Dalton fell in love with at the end of Roadhouse, and I haven't actually gotten onto my original point, but this is just a side thing. The doctor's name was Dr. Elizabeth Clay. So her last name was Clay. And Dalton's last name was Dalton. But for some reason, his brother's last name was Tanner. To which his son took his uncle's last name, which again came from nowhere because Dalton's last name is Dalton. And Clay's last name was Clay. So where they got the name Tanner from behooves me, but the real point I wanted to make, so say it was 85, okay? And then maternal uncle, even if it was a maternal uncle, his last name would still be Clay. Anyway, sorry, that just showed up on chat. So, if this film was released in 85, or set in 1985, that means that, I lost my maths. This was released in 2006, which means that Shane Tanner would canonically be 21. If he was born right as that film, he would have been 21. And in this film, he had already been a Mountie, a DEA agent. He would have grown up in the bar. And he's not, is what I'm telling you. He's not 21. He is not. Because
he's definitely over 30.
Easily over 30. And it's funny, when we went to watch this film, someone asked, how do you think this film's going to end? And I was like, how do I think this film's going to end? I think that the main character beats up the bad guy and gets the girl, and guess what exactly happens? Anyway, Seb, your turn after my little mini rant.
Well, I wanted to bring up the fact of his second name, and because obviously we find out later on in the film that someone showed up at their house trying to kill Shane, but instead killed Dalton.
Yes.
And that's how Dalton canonically dies.
Canonically dies.
Um,
Two McFlys, same gun.
and so, I have a theory about the name.
Okay.
You know how, let's say your dad doesn't have any brothers or sisters.
Okay.
He will have a friend that you call uncle, right?
Okay.
Like, and I feel like it's quite big in America to have like a bunch of
So
people
it's
be like,
like
oh, it's Uncle
true,
Tim.
true. I have an
But,
uncle
like,
Jason.
and is he related to your family in any way?
No, he's not related by blood.
I think what happened was Shane's name is actually Shane's Dalton. After someone tried to kill him, he changed his name to Tanner
Okay,
so that no one would find him.
fair enough. So, the reason that he killed his dad or had someone sent to kill his dad was because Tanner was like a Mountie or something.
State trooper.
Say again? State
State
trooper,
trooper.
yes. He was a state trooper, and he pulled him over for speeding. This isn't even Wild Bill. This is Wild Bill's like sugar daddy. I don't even know. Which I immediately forget his name, so I'm gonna call him Evil Jeff. So Evil Jeff is like, so I paid Bill to kill your dad because
Victor Cross.
his name is Evil Jeff. So Evil Jeff.
Okay, it's Evil Jeff now.
his Evil Jeff paid Wild Bill to kill Dalton, to kill Shane, but he accidentally killed Dalton because Dalton took Shane's car, right? And he was a Mountie at the time. He's like, "Oh, you pulled me over, and you found all my cocaine, so I killed your dad." This film's so stupid. It was like you had me done for possession or something. And anyway, but the reason I say that is he was a state trooper, which means he must have been in his middle, like must have been at least 18, 19 at the time. Which then also lends itself very nicely to, fair enough, he might have done it to like change his name, like
witness protection.
to hide away or something. Nate Tanner is shown in flashback to be raising Dalton Jr., Shane. Which means,
Isn't he? I thought that was Dalton in the flashback.
I don't even know.
I think what they did, because Patrick Swayze is credited in this movie,
But he's not in it at all.
but he's not in it. I think that in the flashback scenes, it's Dalton teaching his kid how to fight.
Oh, okay. And that's why you never seen his face. But
yeah.
Tanner's like already a family friend, so it's like, how would that help you hide in any way?
I don't know. I have no idea.
And if you are hiding because someone killed your dad, why did you go back to Louisiana?
I think. Okay, so do you know what I think?
What do you think?
There are these Hollywood scripts that people write. It happened with American Psycho 2, where people will write a movie, and the Hollywood execs will basically be like, "Yeah, it's good, but we could make it part of a franchise. We could make it a sequel to something."
Yeah.
I think that's what happened with this movie.
Yeah. And the
'Cause-
iconic line in Roadhouse is, "I thought you'd be bigger," because Patrick Swayze was a dancer. So people were like, he can't be a bouncer. He's a little mousy boy. And then he like showed them with his cool Tai Chi karate that he did that they were wrong. But in this film, they say it because it's like, get it? Because it's like Roadhouse. I thought you'd be bigger, like Roadhouse. Remember Roadhouse? This is what this film's trying to be. But he's like 6'3".
Yeah, he's huge. He's 6'3" and he's muscly.
He's very tall.
Like, there are so many unnecessarily like shirtless scenes in this movie.
Well,
men and women.
well, okay. Saying that, there are so many unnecessarily shirtless scenes in Roadhouse as well. So,
How dare you? All of those scenes are necessary.
yeah. Which canonically, by the way, Roadhouse 2 is called Roadhouse 2: Last Call. Is what the film's supposed to be. And in the film, like, the bartender keeps saying, "Last call for alcohol." Like, that's a big thing that kept getting said, like in bars before they had the bells.
Yeah.
But on nowhere on the DVD box art does it say that. And if you Google Roadhouse 2, nowhere in the ethos and nowhere in any of it does it say "Last Call." In fact, it says "Take it outside." So it's like, am I missing something? Why is it called Roadhouse 2: The Last Call? It's actually, no, to be fair, it's wrong. It's actually Roadhouse 2: The Last Airbender.
Oh no!
Oh, I just.
Oh no!
Oh, this film just makes me so aggressively mad. Because in the film, like I said, if you what I said about the film is completely true. That I reckon he beats the bad guy and he beats the bad guy and gets the girl, right? Which is exactly what happens. I will say, I want you to guess who my favorite character was.
In the entire movie.
In the entire film, who do you think my favorite character was? I have two. One of them's a main character, and one of them's a side character who had one line, which was very funny.
Is your main character favorite the uncle?
Yes, that is true.
Mine too. And I'm debating on that second one, but I have an idea.
Moberry guessed it was the knife chick. That's wrong. It wasn't the chick with the knife.
She was cool though. Very talented. That's
weird.
The only talented person in this movie. I think it could be. Is it the old man who's in the hospital?
No, the one who looks like Richard Attenborough.
Yeah.
No, my favorite. Oh,
I know. I know who it is.
Who?
Is it the guy at the end who sings one line in the entire song?
No. He is very
okay.
good. He's very good. He's a little person who's just on the stage because of that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh look, they got a little person on the stage. But no, my favorite character is Mr. Marcus. Is it the Pelican? No. It was Mr. Marcus and his one line, he was the dude with like the bald head and the bandana and like the leather like side thing.
Oh yeah.
And he goes to some guy, my name is Mr. Marcus. What's my name? And the guy goes, Mr. Marcus, and it's just beautiful. It's like, I love you, Mr. Marcus.
I love you so much, Mr. Marcus.
Thank you, Mr. Marcus.
So apparently Roadhouse 2 Last Call is the American title.
Okay.
And for anywhere outside of the US, it's known as Roadhouse 2. Don't ask me why. That's just what it says on
Is
IMDb.
my answer there? Sure.
This movie's terrible.
I'm
sorry.
Don't watch it. I genuinely apologized. We watched the entire film, and at the end I said I'm sorry. Is the Pelican arguably the best actor in the whole thing? I would argue.
Yeah, he doesn't have any lines, but without him, the movie wouldn't, it would cease to be. So my favorite, every week, I look up some trivia for the film. Just so we can have some interesting talking points. And I wrote this down because it's my favorite phrasing of anything ever.
Sorry, Roadhouse 2, The Philosopher's Stone.
Amazing.
Oh, very good. You saying sorry?
So I always look up trivia for the films. And this isn't particularly interesting. It's just the way that someone's written it that makes me laugh every time I read it.
Okay.
It starts with this. There is a link between this and the original film.
No, I promise.
Trust me, there's one.
There's one. Oh my god. Right.
Yeah, and it's the
reason,
it's so stupid.
The reason that the uncle is my favorite character is for one reason. He's just been obviously spoiler alert, but he's just been stabbed, and he's in the hospital, and he's like, oh, you can't do like your dad did. You can't just go around punching everyone. People shoot first and ask questions later now. And I actually was like, yes, you beautiful man.
Yeah, he's not wrong. They did that in the first movie as well, but...
Well, no, because in the first film, they barely had guns. And that's why... Here's one thing I hate about this movie, and one thing that Roadhouse has over it 1,000,000%.
Roadhouse is actually a movie that was made, and this is not.
There is absolutely no conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So. In Roadhouse, again, spoiler alert, but this film came out in 1989. So, in Roadhouse, it is constantly peppered back and referred to from Dalton saying, Wade Garrett's the best. He calls Wade Garrett when he doesn't know what to do. He says to Wade Garrett, hey, there's someone I want you to meet. Clearly a father figure to this guy, right? And then Red Wesley flips a coin, and then decides that he's gonna kill Wade Garrett. And there's a moment where he stabs him in the back, where he has you don't see this, but he comes back and he sees that Wade has a knife coming from his chest, and you see that Wade is dead, and Patrick Swayze, obviously, Dalton loses his mind, and this is what fuels the final, like, escapade, the final, this is it. But in this film, everyone who is a good guy is completely fine. The uncle gets stabbed. He's fine.
3
at the end.
times.
Yeah.
3 times.
3 times he gets stabbed. So he gets stabbed 3 times, is fine in the end. The police officer that we aren't even really supposed to give a shit about, he gets shot.
With a shotgun.
He gets shot by a gun, who then is fine. He's just getting, like, stitched up by the paramedics. It's like, no, he would have surgery. That man got shot. And yeah, so everyone who you want to live, or want to live, everyone who the main character wants to live, lives. And it's just, like, cool. There's just... Dalton really had lost everyone. Like, his whole thing was not to make attachments, and the one person he was attached to at the time was gone. And again, I'm not saying that Roadhouse is Citizen Kane, but there was at least some actual emotional moments and some actual beats that landed. This was just nothing. Like, this film was nothing.
Okay, I'll tell you what it is for me. In Roadhouse, there's something very, like, finite about when characters die. At the end of every fight, there is a reason why it ends, and it leads into something else.
Yeah.
For this movie, there are, like, the fights are meant just for spectacle.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole fight where, I guess the main character, Shane, he's fighting who we think is, like, the big bad drug dealer guy.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's just there so that at the end the guy can be like, "Ah, yeah, I killed your dad, but I didn't fire the gun; it was someone else." And then we never see that character again.
No, we never see him again. Well,
Like,
in the excellent words of Scott Weinberg of DVD Talk, he called the film a predictable, mindless, silly mess that was made to capitalize on the first film. It's like a rough draft got made into a movie. Exactly that. Ooh, someone's at my front door. The bell's ringing, but it's all good. You finish your thought. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, there is a movie that came out. It's not like it's not. It's like what you say. It's not Citizen Kane, but it's got Jason Statham in it. It's called Homefront.
Right.
And it's set in a small town with a bayou, and it's about a drug dealer who is played by James Franco. And essentially, the plot of the movie is that, like, Jason Statham's kid gets kidnapped because she witnesses a murder, and he has to go and get her back.
Man says that he's got a particular set of skills. No, sorry.
Basically,
Different
yeah. But the reason why it reminded me of Homefront is because Homefront does this thing where at the end of the movie, the big bad who is set up to be, like, the actual big bad turns out to be the big bad. And there's a big chase scene, and in the end, it's like there's this really tense scene. In this movie, it's Wild Bill is the bad guy. Okay, you've beaten Wild Bill. Okay, so who's next?
But now
after
there's
Wild Bill?
Evil Jeff.
Okay, I guess it's Evil Jeff. Okay, so you go after Evil Jeff. Oh, hang on. Wait, Evil Jeff isn't the bad guy.
Your dad. He just had him paid to get killed.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess Wild Bill is the bad guy. But you've beaten him once already. Who's to say you're not going to do it again?
Yeah, no conflict, no build up and resolution. Which I'm also just now
It's
realizing that the guy who played Shane, also known as Jonathan Scatch,
yeah, the guy
um,
from That Thing You Do.
screen wrote it as well.
Oh no!
He wasn't the main writer, but he has a screenwriting credit, which I don't know if that just means that he changed a line and technically he got writing credit, but he has writing credit.
I would love to.
As well
I
as
wanted to look
Miles
up some
Chapman,
interviews for the
whoever
film.
that is.
No one. Yeah, I wanted to look up some interviews for the film, but I didn't have time, and I also don't think any exist. Um, but yeah, for me, the main issue with this film is it would be like if you went to watch Endgame, but at the end of Infinity War, they killed Thanos, and then Endgame starts, and it's like, ha ha ha, he wasn't really the big bad guy. It was the little guy all
It was
along.
evil Jeff.
And then they go and fight the little guy, and then the little guy's like, ha ha ha, Thanos isn't dead, and then they go back and just kill Thanos again. It's not like he fought with Wild Bill, he lost, he then fought the bigger guy, won, and it turns out Wild Bill's a bad guy, goes back and fights him, and then
Yeah.
eventually gets his like redeeming arc of like, hey, he can finally beat him because he believes in himself. It's just bad. It's just badly written.
I will say earlier in the review that you read where it said to ignore the sequel and simply rewatch the original was Cam Lindsay said that
Mhm.
of Exclaim, which is a Canadian
So-
music and entertainment publisher.
Um,
Yeah,
So I
that's
did wanna
right. I
ask
know
your
how to
thoughts on
get up
some bits.
Wikipedia.
I wanted to ask your thoughts on some parts of the movie.
Shoot.
From like a editing point of view, and
Yeah. Oh boy, have I got words to say about the editing.
so there is one thing, in my opinion, that this movie sort of has going for it.
Okay.
The practical stunt work is pretty good, but that's mostly due to the fact that like they hired, I can't remember the actress's name. She's the villain in the movie. She's the her name is like Mark Naja, Marissa Quintanilla. I can't say her name.
Okay.
She does all her own stunts in this movie, more or less, and she's very talented. She's a very talented actress. And Jonathan, obviously, a lot of the characters did all their own fight work, and it's not something that I had seen much in a movie. It's not what I would expect to see in a movie from 2006 with such a low budget. Just like that for me, that's like one redeeming factor I saw in this movie.
Yeah. No, I think it had. Well, it's like Birds of Prey.
I do know Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey was terrible, at least in my
Really?
humble
Okay.
opinion. I really didn't like it. It was inconsistent. The story was dumb. The ending was especially dumb. But anyway, I digress. In Birds of Prey.
And the girl actor they got for it was not the best.
But anyway, my
That's
point.
why.
All right. So point being, so in Harley Quinn Birds of Prey, because they had to rename the film because nobody knew what Birds of Prey was. Of course, I'm here, but lurking, trying to get coursework done and failing. Absolutely no worries. Absolutely no worries.
That's what it's for. Just put it
But,
on in the background.
So
So
in that film, it had better fight sequences in Birds of Prey. It had better fight sequences than quite a few Marvel films. I would say.
yes.
I
yes.
really enjoyed the fight sequences and the way that they shot the fights as well. I thought was better. I thought the cinematography was way better. In terms to literally everything else, hated it. But anyway, so
like the one that I remember the most from that film is when they're escaping from the prison, and they have a fight in like the garage. I think it is.
yeah, that one. That's the fight I'm
Um,
talking about.
Yeah, that's
Or one
an
of them.
incredibly shot scene.
Yeah.
And when you compare that to like the Suicide Squad movie,
What are we? Some kind of Suicide
Suicide
Squad?
Squad, and because I don't know about you, but I'm a huge fan of like stunt work and choreography. in films. And it's one of those things where it's like, with a smaller budget and a more directorial approach, I found that it was it was like a matter of spectacle against talent,
Yeah.
you know, like because they couldn't rely on a lot of CGI or a big budget, fights. They had to get down to the nitty gritty of stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah, I love films that do that, and I felt
Yeah.
like this movie was able to kind of, in some small way, like replicate old Hollywood fights, Hong Kong fight scenes,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
I just want to say,
at least,
everybody, and
yeah.
everyone can do this now, right now. If you Google Roadhouse 2 and then go onto images, for some reason, a picture from from the Scorpion King Book of Souls comes up.
Same director, I bet.
For
How much of
whatever
that?
reason. And then if you click the photo from the Scorpion King Book of Souls, it takes you to the Roadhouse 2 Rotten Tomatoes page. So I have absolutely no idea why that's there.
I can't see that.
Let me
What did you only type in
literally look up
Roadhouse 2?
Roadhouse 2. Or yeah. For some reason, just a picture of the Scorpion King comes up. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, no, I see it.
there you go. Who knows? Anyway, just a fun little tidbit for you.
What if that actress in the photo is actually in Roadhouse 2?
I wouldn't
I think
be
she plays Bo,
surprised.
Um,
What,
I think I know why this movie is called Last
Ellen
Call.
Holman. What are you saying about this film?
It's just dawned on me.
What?
I think I've just realised why it's called Last Call. I would put money on the fact that the original script for this movie was just called Last Call, and it was this plot, and then they were like, let's add Roadhouse to the front of it, and let's make it a
See,
sequel,
I don't
and we'll add
think,
in all
because
the
like I
references.
said, it's gotten sold together and it's owned by the same people. So I don't know. I don't even know if that's true.
No. I mean, like, before production even started.
Right.
I think
okay.
someone wrote a script called Last Call, submitted it to this production company, and they were like, hey, what do we own the rights to that we can probably,
Right.
because this
Probably
movie isn't
slap
great
on
on
the
its
front of
own.
it.
Yeah. And, like, change a couple of words around.
They
And
couldn't
this
be
is what they got.
bothered to buy the DVD, so they just grabbed another random slot. They grabbed another random shot. Yeah.
Basically.
I do want to talk about the disc art of this film, because you're laughing, but I'm bringing it up again. So this is the DVD art of Roadhouse 1, right? We've got the beautiful scene where Dalton and Joel are fighting, and they put it in front of the Double Deuce. And it's very symbolic or whatever, and it's a cool shot from the film, and they've edited it, and it looks like watercolors. It's very cool. Roadhouse 2, however, it just says Roadhouse 2, and if you look closely, it's two different shades of black. It's not even the same shade of black. It's like they just ran out of ink halfway through printing. So
Not even the people who printed the DVD cared about it.
I just think that goes to prove so much. And again, this is a thing that I own now. I spent I boosted the economy with buying this disc set.
I can't believe that you did that. Okay, so the guy who wrote this, the screenwriter of this movie, Miles Chapman, what other movie do you think he wrote? And I will give you a hint. It stars Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Expendables? Then I don't know, because that's the only film I know where both of them are in it.
Do you remember a film called Escape Plan?
I don't.
It's about both of them trying to escape from prison. And he wrote Escape Plan, Escape Plan 2, Hades, and Escape Plan The Extractors,
Oh my god.
all of which star Sylvester Stallone.
Well, yeah, he'll do anything.
And then he's also written Protection and Cybergeddon, which are short films, and the only other film he's ever written is Roadhouse 2 Lost Call.
Who's letting this man write films?
MGM,
Apparently, yeah.
for some bizarre reason.
Some very bizarre reason. Who
I
even
can't believe that.
knows? Um,
I can't believe it.
yeah.
Why did he have a? I really want to know why Jonathan Shake got a screenwriting credit for this.
Yeah, right. So,
So,
in this diabolical film, and the words I wanted to talk about on the editing. In the editing, so fun fact: this film was in fact edited by Edgar Berkson. Right, Edgar Berkson edited this film. He's from the Netherlands. He lives in California. He edited apparently 52 episodes of Seabird, a French cartoon. And also has done work for Budweiser and Levi's. I just want to tell him something. Yeah, he's still alive.
okay.
Yeah, he's still alive. I just want to. Okay. Edgar Berkson, if you are watching this right now, if by any means someone talks about Roadhouse 2 and you want to say how you edited it, I want to give you a piece of information. Okay? There is more than one sound that a punch makes. Because this film has a lot of punches in it, being a, C-rate action film. It's got a lot of punches in it. Fair enough. But the punches all sound just like psh, 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 psh.
Same with the gunshots too.
Same with the gunshots. People are shooting pistols and they're shooting like revolvers and stuff and shotguns. But all of them make the same they're all making the same noise. So Edgar Berkson, please get some more sounds. Just do it. There's really no reason for you not to. Oh man. Anyway.
This movie's so bad.
Honestly terrible. Honestly terrible.
Okay.
Oh, go on then.
So I've done a little digging
Okay.
on why Jonathan Shake has a screen.
Well, I'm
writing
guessing
credit
just for like changing lines or something, because you technically get a writing credit for improving lines.
Are you ready for this?
Okay, I am.
He's co-written a number of screenplays with Richard Chismar, including Heroes, which is a 2002 thing. I don't know. Roadhouse 2, which is based on a story by Miles Chapman. They rewrote the movie to be Roadhouse 2.
Yeah.
It started out as, I think, Last Call, which is a story written by Miles Chapman. And I'm 100% on that. I would put money on the fact that they rewrote his original story to be Roadhouse 2.
Yeah. I mean, I don't doubt it.
I just
God damn, man. God damn. So, okay. So in this film, in this masterpiece, in this beautiful in this magnum opus,
the best movie ever made.
in the best movie that was ever made. So they talk about one of my favorite lines in this film that's said by the uncle, and the reason the uncle's my favorite character is just because some of the quick lines that he says. How does the reality of the bad compare to your expectations of the bad beforehand? It's worse. It is worse.
Really?
It is worse than I thought it was going to be, because I really thought that at least this was a film I could laugh at. I at least thought this is a film that I can get a good chuckle out of, and just put on and just mess around or whatever. This film took something away from me that left a void that I feel like can never be replaced.
I'll tell you what it is, right?
I feel a gap in my soul that will never be fulfilled.
It's because, like, I think it's bad, but I thought it would be much worse.
Really?
I did. I thought it was going to be one of those, like, bad CGI movies.
I am so
Um,
sorry. I don't forgive you.
You should be.
I think you should send
but
me
I'll tell-
another £20 just as to ask for forgiveness,
She'll do it.
or buy
The
me a
reason
box
why
of
I hate
Apple
this
Jacks.
movie,
What?
the reason why I hate this movie is because you could take away every single reference to Roadhouse, and you would still have the same movie.
You'd have the exact same move, and all of them are saying like, "Oh, that's Dalton's kid," and it's like, what? When did people give a shit that Dalton was a thing? Nobody cared.
He's been dead for well over like what 5-6 years now.
That's another thing. They never give any fucking reference to time frames. They never talk about how old he is. They never talk about how old Dalton was when he died. They never ever talk about time references. So we have.
Do you want to know why it is?
Well, it's so that we can be. It's so that that dickheads like me won't be like, well, if this is the timeline, but it's so you can be lazy. It's so you can cut corners and you can be like, well, this doesn't have to make sense because you don't know the timeline, so you can't make sense of it.
It is that, and this movie was written for Patrick Swayze.
And he said
meant to be
no.
Roadhouse 2. Yeah, and he turned it down. He was on board up until he wanted to take some creative liberties, and they refused.
Which imagine Christopher, hey man, how you doing? We're just talking about the worst film that's ever been made.
What's up, man?
I
I wouldn't go
Roadhouse
that
2.
far.
No, well maybe not. Oh, they also
Hydrate me.
did a hydrate. Thank you very much, man.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated.
This is it. Yeah, this is. You do. This is definitely hitting you harder than me because you have this like predetermined love for Roadhouse.
I'm more. How do you refuse him? What do you mean? What do I refuse?
What Patrick Swayze?
Oh yeah, how do you say no to the guy who is so he's the only one on the cover of Roadhouse. You needed boobies to. By the way, this is some people have just joined. This is. Oh no. Oh god. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to scream. So if you want to take your headphones out or turn me down, now is the perfect time to do that. You're welcome. It's about to happen. 69 XD! You're welcome. Okay, you can turn me back up now. You're welcome. You're welcome. Cool. This is just saying. This is. I usually try not to swear or talk about sexual references in my stream, but it is happening now. So that is just a fair warning to anyone new who's just joined us.
I tell you what.
I had such.
How about?
I had such. Here's the thing. I know you're gonna say, oh, like why would you have high hopes? But I had such high hopes because, like I said, Roadhouse 2, like Roadhouse the original, has this beautiful charm because again, it felt like people gave a shit. That's the biggest issue I have with this film. It really feel like people showed up to work. You know what I mean? Like it didn't in Roadhouse. They knew it was a little silly, but they had fun with it. They made it good.
You can tell this people made this movie for a paycheck.
They didn't fucking care about it. That's my issue with this film. Is that
Are you gonna cry?
Am I gonna cry? Lol. He can't hear me. I can't cry because of the medication I'm on.
I mean, I understand if you do want to.
No,
I would.
No, I can't. But anyway, no.
We'll save that for later.
I wasn't. Look, okay. I'm gonna let you in behind the curtain a little bit, Seb. When you're a famous content creator like myself,
yes, yeah.
I've got tens upon tens of people who follow me. So.
I look bored now.
You ham things up to be a little bit more interesting. So that's my secret. I don't really care that much, but I'm giving you a little emphasized version of myself.
Okay. So I'm trying to fix my hair because I look like it's stupid.
Well, don't try and fix your hair. Your hair's always bad. Um,
Oh wow, that's so like
true.
true.
So, oh no.
That'll do.
Um,
That's much worse.
will it? But anyway, Roadhouse 2 was just it was just a cash in. They even add the little scene where it's like, we serve booze here, not drugs. They stole that line whole
Yeah.
cloth. I will say this though, I did feel like Jonathan, what's his nuts, actually did a really
Shaish.
Screech. What?
Shaish.
Shaish.
Skaish. Skaish.
I think he actually did. There was some times in the film where I was like, he was the correct choice to play Dalton's son. Like,
I'd agree. I would agree.
in some, not all of it, but in some places, like when he said, "I don't fly, too dangerous," I was like, that's like Swayze. Like, there was definitely things he said and ways that he said it that was like, okay, he's definitely Dalton's kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't like emanating him. It felt like a natural progression of.
Yeah, and he so
It felt like family.
So in that way, I was like, yeah, okay. I think he actually did quite a good job. In especially in some issues. I did like he had an okay steely gaze. Yeah, it wasn't as good as Swayze's steely gaze.
It's because he looked like he was high all of the time.
Oh, he looked like he was stoned out of that entire film.
Yeah.
And hey, never call me up on
Okay.
how passionate I get about films again. You don't embarrass me in front of all of our fans.
I will because I'm the exact same. So I have to admit something.
Go on then.
Okay.
What do you have to
I
admit,
could
sir?
tell. So I spent a lot of this movie watching your reactions to things.
As he always does. Never watch a film with Sebastian Wrightson. He doesn't watch it. He watches you.
Well,
like, never watch a film with
Okay.
Sebastian Wrightson.
it's true. Why are you giving away my full name?
I say it every time I introduce you.
You do, don't you?
I say to my left is Sebastian Wrightson.
That's me.
More of an aluminum-y sharp.
Oh no.
I know I should say aluminium, but the Americans actually found aluminum and they named it first, and then we changed the name. So in this one instance, I'm siding with the Americans.
Yeah, but you're allowed to.
Anyway,
Like,
I mean, anyone's
yeah.
allowed to. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
family.
illegal.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not gonna get thrown in jail for saying aluminum. Anyway, you were saying.
Aluminum. Yeah, so I was watching you most of the movie. And you looked torn. It looked like someone had ripped your soul out of your body. Because you'll do this thing. And I want to watch a movie when we're in the same room at some point. Because
Okay.
when you get upset with a movie, you'll be sat like this, and then the second something happens you don't like, you'll do this. And immediately like shift in your chair like that's awful, hate that. And then you'll stay there and you'll just be like, this sucks. Like the rest of the movie you'll just be like, I hate this.
That's a big one as well. I'll do this. I'll go.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll point at the screen and be like, oh, like yeah, that's a good.
I get, and this is why I'm in filmmaking. I cannot help but get incredibly passionate about films. I don't watch a film unless I don't watch a film. Like, I haven't watched a film that I haven't got completely into. Like, because people often ask, because when I'm not sure if this is the same about you. By the way, I'm COVID free. In case you're wondering, I had a COVID test this morning because I'm back in classes. So your boy don't have COVID, so that's good.
That's good.
But
Me
anyway,
neither. I got one done the other day.
they're disgusting, right? You have to put a piece of cotton bud on your
to...
tonsils and then up your nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like...
it's the fuck. I had a meeting today with someone, and she described it as the gag and retch.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah.
And I basically so I've had 3 so far, 3 COVID tests, and I have a watch. I'm not wearing it right now, because I usually don't wear it when I'm inside. But I have this watch that also counts seconds. And they said, "Oh,
Okay.
rub it on on each side of your tonsils for 10 seconds each." And the first 2 times I did it, I counted to 10 in my head, and they were like, "That was a bit quick. Are you sure you did it?" And I was like, "Haha, shut up, yeah." So this time, to be extra, yes, I am doing it. I held up my watch and counted to 10 seconds because I'm petty. Anyway, but yeah, when I watch a
Well,
film,
it's like my new
Go for it.
phrase for life is that spite is my driving force.
I am only one of the reasons I am
I'm
alive is spite.
Yeah,
Um,
literally. That's my whole thing. It's the only reason why I live is through spite. It
exactly
feeds
that,
me.
exactly that.
Um,
Cool.
sorry, I
So
interrupted you.
I can't watch films without being just incredibly I can't watch a film casually because a lot of my friends will ask what I watch just to like unwind, and I don't. I don't have the emotional energy to do that. I can't watch a film just to chill. I have to watch a film to watch. Like I can watch stupid films because, like I said about Roadhouse, like I said about there's a like all Adam Sandler films. Like I can sit down and watch them, and be like, oh, I know this is terrible. It's funny to laugh at, but I can't have a movie on in the background like some people do. I can't do it.
Okay.
One sec. And so that's why I'll watch like YouTube videos or play video games or just listen to music because I can't watch any other. It's only films. I don't really do this with TV shows either, but with films I cannot help, and that's why it takes so much emotional energy out of me because I am watching it and I'm in it and I'm emotionally in it. So yeah, so that's my. And if I'm not in a film, like if I'm watching, for example, Seb and I went to a theater to watch the original Wes Craven Nightmare on Elm Street, and we were making jokes the entire time because it was ridiculous. Not when it was released, however. Seb and I aren't that old. Um,
I mean,
but
speak for yourself.
yeah, you old man.
I'm old as hell.
But yeah, so that's my thing. Sorry, I
No.
after you.
Well, because that leads very nicely into what I wanted to ask you. I've got a kind of an idea for a new segment for this week, specific.
Oh no.
It's nothing big. I just want to know how would you make this film better?
Oh, thank you for asking. So, there was clearly a budget in this film because they had to pay all the actors, they had to rent out all the different spaces, they had to, have choreography to learn the fight scenes, they had to rent out the hospital. There was clearly money in this film. And I don't even know what the budget was.
I'll look it up for you.
Thank you. So,
You talk.
if I had the same resources as this film, first of all, I would not at all. I would not say no to Swayze. It's the first thing. I would ask him what his vision is, for elderly Dalton. Obviously not elderly, but older Dalton. I would. So, as we've talked about, Evil Jeff is such a stupid side character. There is minimal. I know we kind of need it because Wild Bill, needs some kind of supervision or overseer, and that's what Evil Jeff is for. But I would either scrap him entirely, or not bring him to Louisiana. I wouldn't have brought him down. That would have been stupid. I would.
So it doesn't say.
Yeah, no, I was trying
But
to look for it.
people are estimating around $4 million.
$4 million. Okay, that's not a huge amount for because obviously it wasn't box
However,
office. Oh yeah.
So I'm doing my screen acting course.
Yeah.
And currently I have to do a presentation on low budget, high return films.
Yeah.
And I chose the Blumhouse films as a
Okay.
production company. Every single one of their films is made for $5 to $7 million, and they return $100 back minimum. for each movie they've produced, except for Upgrade. The biggest issue with this film, from what I can see, is they said low budget and you get no control of the finished product.
Yeah.
You have a strict guideline to what you have to follow.
Yeah, well, exactly
It should
that.
have been, you get the budget, direct what you want. This is your film. Do what you need to.
Yeah, no, the issue... Yeah, like I said, the issue with this film is just nobody gives a shit. Like, nobody cares about this film that's in it. You know, and that's something that wickedly bothers me, because if you are going to cash in on, you know, an already loved franchise film, that's fine. Like, I don't have a problem with that. But god damn, at least make it, like, palatable. Like, at least have things in it that... So I would have, first of all, I'd probably rewrite the whole... Because if it's a whole make it, like, better, I would probably rewrite it from scratch. Because I would have a better reason for why, Dalton Jr. needed to go back to Louisiana, because his uncle being a bit, you know, slapped up.
Messed up. Yeah.
It was fine, but the reason he got messed up is because someone was selling drugs and he was like, no drugs in my bar. You know, I will say I think the way that they established Wild Bill, so the way that I would have it is Wild Bill in the beginning with Nate, because he is stated to owning 20% of the bar, right? That is something that has been stated. So he owns 20% of the bar. So what I would have is I would have Wild Bill be more sneaky in the beginning, because they tried to do this thing because they only had an hour and a half time, as opposed to, you know, because this film's 88 minutes, 82 minutes, and Roadhouse 1 is 122 minutes. So Roadhouse 2 is 2 hours, and this film is barely an hour 20. But that's the issue, is like it depends on how much I can trade. Was it funded by the AFT and the DEA? Well, he's a DEA agent. This is so stupid. Why is he a DEA agent? Like, I know it needs to be like he's slinging drugs and he needs a big score.
I think it's because the reason why his dad died, the reason why Dalton was killed, was because of
We
drugs,
need some
not
bigger
because of
reason
drugs.
to hate Wild Bill.
Yeah.
And he's not just a drug dealer. Hey, Carl, how's
So-
it going?
I think the best way to describe this movie is it's as though we start in the middle of Roadhouse 2 and we only see we start in the middle of Roadhouse 2, we get to the end of that,
But we
and
never
then-
saw the beginning.
but then we start Roadhouse 3, and then we never see the end of that movie.
Yeah, that is definitely the issue. This is a weird segmented, like, part of the film. I wouldn't have turned down Swayze. I wouldn't have.
Never.
I would have gotten. I think I would have gotten rid of Evil Jeff from the beginning. I would make Wild Bill more of a character, because so
Did you already say welcome, Carl? By the way.
I did welcome Carl. Sorry, I haven't watched your stream for a while. That's completely fine, dude. Absolutely no worries. You know, stop by when you can.
We weren't. Mac.
Carl, shouldn't you be in bed? Anyway, so with the film, so in films, there is something which is called distancing. So when you have a character, right, which is, you know, he's a drunk, he's an asshole, he's just clearly a bad dude, you're distancing yourself. You're making it so the character of, you know, the main character, so you're making that the character is emotionally distant from the audience member. Because if someone's just an asshole for asshole's sake, right? Yes, those people exist, but we avoid those people. Do you know what I mean? We avoid those people in real life.
Yes.
So we don't know anything about them. So when we see people who are surface level and we just take the thing at face value, it immediately feels inauthentic. When someone doesn't have any redeeming or any kind of being able to get on a level with them, it's very hard to care about what happens. We don't really care if they win or lose. We don't really care what happens with them. So I would have loved to open it with seeing some kind of Wild Bill being a good partner, like a good business partner, like he is working at the bar, but maybe doing sneaky shit on the side, and that's where the movie would begin. And then it goes along. It makes it, obvious that he has been selling drugs. That's what gets him kicked out. But legally, he can't do anything. I would have loved that. I would have loved some kind of, because then we have at least the remember who he was, as opposed to, oh, he's just a bad dude who sells drugs. So it is impossible to care about.
And I think as well, just to backpack to
Just a backpack.
jump on the back of, just a backpack, just jump on the back of that.
Yeah.
The point of the whole point of the first movie is like Dalton is a cooler. That is his primary job, and he only gets wrapped up in this because he makes the mistake. It's his fault as to why he's there.
Yeah.
He's the reason why he chooses to stay. In this movie, it's a DEA agent who is also a cooler, who is choosing to stay because of like a girl that he likes and stuff. It's like it takes all of the worst bits of the first movie,
Yeah.
but makes them bigger. I know I have the perfect idea for how I would have changed this movie.
Go on then.
I would not have made this movie a sequel. I would have made this movie a prequel and focused on Wade Garrett becoming first cool and why he was the best.
Yeah, you'd say that because you just loved Wade Garrett.
Okay, well, I did love Wade Garrett, but think of it this way, right? We get a young Wade Garrett. We get the backstory as to how he met Swayze. But most importantly, we get you don't have to spend the budget on like gunfights and things like that because it would be back where you would settle things fists still.
Yeah.
And you could get to the heart of coolers, and you get to the whole heart of what made Roadhouse special, and that's the things that happen inside the bar.
You see, I would disagree with that because I feel like it would take some of the, power away from Wade in Roadhouse, because Wade is supposed to be this. He's a mystery. Like, Wade Garrett's the best. Wade Garrett's getting old. Yes, it would be cool to. It's like why I was mad that they made a Joker film. Because the Joker, his whole thing is that he is that distant. He is that, crazy lunatic who, loves the Batman. But when they made an origin story for him, I was mad. I said to, we talked about this in my film class because obviously.
Everyone talks about Joker.
But we said, good film, but don't make it the Joker, I think is exactly what we said. We said that they should have made, come on, brain, you can work. As we said, it would have been a great film literally if they just didn't set it in Gotham. Like, literally, if they... Carl, I just want to tell you this. Fitzsimon is her last name. Okay?
Oh, Carl redeemed.
Oh, he
Hydrate Me.
redeemed Hydrate Me.
Like, I think I'd agree. I think I'd agree with that. But I think, like, in my opinion, the Joker, Batman, these are like very popular. Like they've been popular forever.
Yeah.
Roadhouse is quite cult,
It's very
quite like
niche, yeah.
So I think doing the backstory of a character, and it doesn't have to be like the whole thing. It doesn't have to be like,
I feel like Wade didn't need because I know this is gonna make you mad, but for all intents and purposes, Wade Garrett is kind of a two-dimensional character. He's the cool mentor who's harder than nails, and I don't know. I feel like it would have taken away from his character in Roadhouse. If I was being honest, I would watch. I agree. I think it would be a cool prequel, but I'm just not. I don't know. I think it would take something away from the regular Roadhouse film for me.
Okay. Whereas for me, I feel like it would add more to it. I would watch a double bill of that movie.
Maybe we need to write it. We'll pitch it to MGM and Sony.
Do you know what though? They would buy it. Like, because like.
Yeah, go to bed, Carl.
The way I would fix this film, if they gave me this and they were like, change it, I would double down. Differences. I would go one step further. I wouldn't set it in some random town. I would set it still near the Double Deuce. I would set it as
in Jasper, Mississippi, or no, Jasper, Missouri. Sorry.
Yeah, and I would set it there. I would have Dalton's son come back to find. In my head, the way that I would play it out is Dalton has gone missing. So his son comes back to the Double Deuce, where he finds Dalton working again. And he learns about his dad's old life. I think I would have it completely like Dalton doesn't want to talk about what happened because he killed a man. He struggles talking about it in the original.
Yeah, but then at the end of the original Roadhouse, he then kills like 6 dudes.
Yeah. Which is why I feel like he wouldn't tell his son about what he used to do.
But do you really think he'd stay in Jasper, though? Like, I know he stays in there for Clay.
I think he would go back to see Clay. I reckon I would have it that he went back because either Clay stayed in Jasper and she's just passed away and he's gone back to see her and some of the old people. And then it's kind of this, like, telling of, like, so you used to do this for a little. And then it would be, like, I'd make it more of a family rather than a revenge flick.
Right, okay.
Like, that's just my thing of, like, I would do something like that. I don't think I'd have that exact plot.
Yeah.
But for me, what made the first film so endearing was the fact that it was about him getting close to people and him, like, us learning over the course of the film.
Yeah.
You know, he cares about these people. And to have that pay off again, him to return, to visit people, to say goodbye to somebody, and for us to take that journey with his son. And obviously, you'd still have fights, you still have things like this.
Yeah.
And then Dalton teaching his kid how to be. That's how I would see it. I just think that would be nice. Or just let Swayze do what you want, even if it was batshit crazy.
So, I'm reading the back of the box currently.
Oh God. Okay.
So you know how in the first film, Clay was like Elizabeth Clay was quite important because, yes, she was the love interest for Dalton, but her uncle was Red, who owned the hardware store. She was married to Brad Wesley, and she was incredibly smart as she was a doctor. In this film, on the back of the box, it just says, "With help from a gorgeous blonde."
Oh. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also my issue with this, is that she's just attractive. Like there.
Is she?
She is incredibly one-dimensional. She is.
Yeah.
Even because the love interest, again, even the love interest in Roadhouse. Yes, of course, they were like objectifying, and it was the 80s action film, So of course that happened. But again, she was a doctor. She went back there to help her uncle. She had gone through a divorce and was still living there. She was a strong woman.
It's important to note that in this film, her cousin is Wild Bill.
Her cousin's
and
Wild
that's
Bill.
All of the development
That's
we get.
That's the only reason that she's in this film, is because
They rewrote Roadhouse.
yeah, they
That's
just
what they
rewrote it and made it worse.
Yeah.
It's just what they did. And what is it with Roadhouse and naming these bars terrible names?
I don't know.
Because we have the Double Deuce, and here we have the Black Pelican. Is that what it's called?
Pelican. Yeah. Because that's the whole point at the end of the movie, is that he dies on a pelican.
He gets killed by. It's actually
He gets
ironic
impaled
because
by
he
it.
got killed. My grandmother got killed by a giant pelican. That's a Bo Burnham
Good
joke.
Bo Burnham reference.
Yeah.
I know. I'm a Leo. I love Titanic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Also, it's funny to me to reread the back of the Roadhouse blurb, because in co-starring it's fun to see what movies that because they used to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Because they used to do this where they were like, oh, they're from this film. The movie that they gave Kelly Lynch was Cocktail, and the movie that they gave Sam Elliott was Gettysburg.
To be fair, he is good in that.
He is good in that.
Not a good film, though. Well, relatively.
So
What did they give Swayze? Tell me they gave him Dirty Dancing, at least.
No, they didn't actually give him anything. They just said Dalton Swayze, who is a bouncer who comes to Jasper. That's it. They don't give him anything.
He's not even a bouncer.
No, he's a caller. No, it just says co-starring Kelly Lynch, Cocktail, and Sam Elliott, Gettysburg, and featuring the hard-driving music by Alabama, the Jeff Healey Band, Otis Redding, and more. Roadhouse is where the action is exactly what is on the back of this box.
This isn't even a roadhouse, it's a swamp.
Yeah, it is on a swamp. And they drive fucking swamp boats. You know, the ones with the fans?
The airboats, yeah. So, okay, yeah, this movie in my head is literally, this is how I reckon this movie was written. They sat down in the room, and they were like, right, Roadhouse. What can we all remember about Roadhouse? Well, obviously,
Women.
it's set in a bar. Yeah, it's set in a bar, so we can put one of those in. There was a bad guy who wanted to use the bar to sell drugs. Okay, we can have that again. There's a fight next to a lake. Okay, well, let's try and switch it up. Maybe don't have a lake. Maybe have a swamp.
Maybe have a swamp.
That's it. We'll have a swamp.
That's it. We've done it. We've broken it, boys. Let's put a swamp
We've done
in.
it. There's obviously a love interest who's related to the main villain, so we'll put one of those in. And then, yeah, that's it. We're done. That's everything we need.
So
and a father figure has to die.
So I'm gonna call a little intermission, little break. We've been going for about an hour and a half. So we're gonna take a 5-10 minute break. And just before we do, I want to show you all something. In my hands. What?
Is it the electric drum kit that you've been talking about for the last 3 weeks?
No, but you can see that.
It looks sick. Big fan. In your hands.
No, in my hands are 3 films. Some call it the greatest trilogy ever made. I call it the second best.
No.
And that would be Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and Bill and Ted Face the Music. I'm going to be watching them all this week. Starting tonight, watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and then Wednesday night watching Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. To which concluding on Friday night, watching Bill and Ted Face the Music. That's not for the That's not for the Edgy Boi Picture Show. That's just for fun. Tonight probably at like 7ish, just so I can get some dinner. They're not long films. Some of my favorite films. I haven't seen Face the Music yet. That's why I bought it. I have seen these two, but I'm rewatching them for Face the Music. So yeah, so I'm watching those films tonight in the drive-in channel. Watching the first one tonight, second one on Wednesday, third one on Friday. Probably all about 7ish. So yeah, if that's
they definitely wrote this movie after playing the Roadhouse drinking game.
Yeah, maybe they wrote it. Yeah, no, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, 100% did.
But yeah, so we're gonna go on a quick break, but just wanted to let y'all know that tonight I'm gonna be watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in the drive-in chat. Come stop by if you want. No pressure. Again, it's not for anything. It's just I was gonna watch it, so I figured I might as well open it to the public. We're gonna have a little movie night. Cool. We're going to go to the intermission screen, and we'll see y'all in about 5-10 minutes. Yeah. All right.
We have to go back.
I think that we gotta, first of all, we have to get out of here as quick as possible. Well, let's talk about it outside. Yeah. We can pick it up at 10. We'll probably push it by that way.
We have to go back.
I think that we are. First of all, we have to get out of here as close as we can. Well, let's try to get outside. Yeah. We can pick it up at 10. We'll probably push it by that, right?
We have to go back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
Would anyone like a chocolate raisin? They're my
Seb's eating
cinema
chocolate
treat.
ranges. Chocolate tray, this film has melted my brain. My brain has now scrambled eggs.
Right.
Seb wanted to
So
talk
let's
about
talk
something.
about let's talk about female representation in this fucking movie.
I thought it was fine. There were so many women in this film, so it's fine, and they all had their tits out. So I don't. It's
Okay.
artistic. I don't know.
So the first shot is obviously of
just
those
wanted
twins.
to say, obviously kidding.
Yeah.
That was
Obvious.
that was obviously misogynistic and terrible, and I feel like it was kind
Someone
of
clip that. Someone clip
no,
it.
please don't. And it was in poor taste because of obviously the protests that went down the other day, which were fucking horrible.
You've gone
Anyway,
really red.
have I?
Yeah. But I want to state something, and I think everyone already knows this, but there is no way in hell anyone believes that you are a misogynist.
Extra.
Has anyone ever told you you look like Wild Bill from Roadhouse 2?
All the time.
Incredible.
I can't move I can't move for Wild
Yeah.
Bill comments.
Yeah. So obviously the first shot we really get of this movie is of a very slow-moving Lamborghini pulling into a parking space.
Why would you spend millions of pounds or dollars on a car to go very slowly?
I have no idea. And two twins walk out, dressed in very revealing clothing. That's the first shot of this movie, and the first women that we meet.
First rule of filmmaking: always start on your subject. Anyway,
Smart move. The second group of women we meet are strippers. And then the next woman we meet is a psychopathic killer. So already not setting up a good precedent for this movie. You meet her before the strippers. I know.
Actually, you Philistine, one of the stripper ladies who does a strip dance is also a DEA agent.
Who's unbelievably attracted to the main character.
Who also says, I kind of like this gig, it turns me on.
And also is never seen again in the movie.
Is never seen again. Is just, that's it. Buy from her, I guess.
She's there for one scene, and it's to be a sexual object.
But also a DEA agent who's also a sexual object.
My question is,
Yeah.
why did he go undercover if she was already undercover?
So that you got that cool reveal where it looks like she just fell in love with a criminal. But then you find out he's actually a DEA agent. Whoa, so cool. I hate this film.
And you know the last, and she is the last female character we really meet, is the main character's real love interest. Do you know what made Roadhouse so good?
I mean, you don't need to tell me,
All-
but go for it.
All of the characters have morals. Whether they're good or bad, they have morals and they stick to them. This woman,
Because you're a bleeder.
is flat. We see her trying to change tire.
And we're talking
Guess
in
what?
the
She can't
acting
change tire.
sense, in case any of you are
Yeah.
wondering.
She's trying to change a tire, but she can't. So she needs a big, strong man to come and help her change her tire.
And she plays it off like, oh, what are you doing trying to help me change my tire? And he's just like, oh, you're struggling, so I thought I'd give you a hand. And she was like, well, you're a dickhead. And he was like, haha, call me sometime. Like, is basically the point.
Yeah. So she shows up at the bar where he works, even though she didn't know he worked there.
This is something I definitely desperately want to talk about. Sorry, I thought pain would be bigger when I crashed the Mercedes. Ha 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 ha. Big funny meme. Anyway, sorry. I need to order Gross
get
Point
it.
Blank, actually. That's something I need to do. Anyway, so. By the way, Iron Brew, sponsor me. I drink your product literally all the time.
Diet
Anyway.
Coke. Maybe don't, because I'm not a big fan. But
It's fine. Cool. So, this girl, she gets her tire changed, and I'm gonna reenact exactly what the scene is, and I'll continue. So, she is changing a tire. He drives
do
past.
you want me to play Dalton?
He stops his car. No, it's alright. I'll play all the
Not
characters. I'm multi-talented. And okay, so right, okay, so I'm Dalton. Dalton's kid. Sorry. How may I help you change a tire? And then she goes, "Oh, you dickhead, you absolute reprehensible garbage man." And then he goes, "Ah." And then a car drives past and it's Wild Bill and he almost kills him. To which is playing like thug rap music in the car to show that he's a bad guy, I guess. And then who's that guy? And then he says, "Oh, you don't want to know. Okay, I've changed your tire. Okay, where are you going?" "I'm going to the hospital." "Oh, it's this way." "Shut up. I know where it is. I used to live here." And that's it. That's the entire sequence, and I've done it. I've probably added more. It's probably more interesting when I just did it than the actual scene.
And then she shows up to the bar, right, where he's working.
And how does she know he's working there?
Wild Bill, I'm assuming? I can't actually remember.
I don't think it's ever stated.
It's never stated how she knows. But she dolls herself up. She's wearing makeup, did her hair, changed her clothes. She goes to the bar and it's at last call, and Dalton Kid goes, "Can I buy you a drink?" And she goes, "I don't drink." To which he goes, and then she is like, "Okay, bye," and then just fucking leaves. She just gets up.
And she leaves her phone at the bar so that she has a reason to come and find her. And let me reenact the ending of that scene.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, can I have your name? Fuck off!
Yeah, basically.
That's it. That's the end of that scene.
And then one of the bartender comes up to Dalton Kid and goes, "Oh, she left her phone." And she's like maybe 10 feet away. He could have easily been like, "Hey, stop, you left your phone." But he just quietly says to the bartender next to it, "She'll come back for it." And it's like, what does that mean? What are you talking about?
That's how they flirt down south.
In 2006.
Yeah. And so, like, the next day she shows up, and this is what I don't understand. And this is the biggest plot hole I found in this movie, surprisingly. He has her phone.
Yeah.
She calls him and says, "I'm coming to get my phone." And he's like, "Okay, come and get your phone."
No, he actually says, I'm running errands right now. Let me drop your phone off in half an hour.
Yeah, and she's
because
like,
he believes, in this sequence, he truly believes that someone's about to ambush him and kill him or some shit.
because the door's open. So, she's calling him from a mobile phone.
No, look, I don't know much about 2006, but I was only 5. But
it was terrible.
Nothing good happened in 2006.
I'm gonna look up what happened in 2006. I bet you fuck all happened.
How did she know where he lived? That's another one. Where did But okay, because she had, but she didn't know where he lived. This is what baffles me more. She just starts wandering at our house. She's walking and she finds a phone. Like I kind of remember her like finding this phone and being like, cool, this is a phone. I'm gonna call my own phone. And then she enters the house because the door's open. To which Dalton Kid is like, it's just this girl. I'm gonna very creepily say, "Hey there," or something, and then he gets kicked in the nuts. Very funny time. Man get kicking balls. And then he's like pissy with her, and it's like, none of this situation is normal.
And then that's all of the female characters, except there's one more female character we get to meet. And she's my favourite female character in this movie.
Is that the old lady who gets told to go back in her room?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's the nurse that gets kicked in the face. For no reason.
No reason she gets kicked in the face.
Excuse me, you can't be in here. Immediately gets kicked in the face.
Bah! That poor woman. God, yeah.
Okay.
You can't come back here. Very.
Do you know why I hate this main character's female lead?
Because she's a one-dimensional plot device as opposed to a character.
That. But also, in Roadhouse, she was a doctor. She was smart. She had morals. She didn't want him fighting or killing anyone because it made him a bad person.
Oh, and she.
This woman kills so many people in this movie.
She just brings a gun.
She has a gun. She literally.
She opens
I don't know
fire.
who taught her to fight. She stabs a girl. Another one. She stabs a main villain. This movie's insane.
With a butterfly knife, and then they both just get off scot-free.
Don't get me wrong, I love powerful women in movies, but this is not it.
That ain't it, Chief. Yeah.
It's true.
It's just they're all so one-dimensional. Like, it's just so hard to have any kind of attachment to any other characters. Again, the only one that I really care about, it's like a script for an adult film, but instead of sex scenes, people just get hurt. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That. Exactly that. So, she grabbed the knife, but the blade wasn't cut. Yeah, or some shit. Like, the blade wasn't there when he got stabbed. So...
Oh yeah, she breaks the knife
She,
off
like,
in
breaks the knife,
heart.
and then the knife lady was like, stab, and then... I can't even remember her name. Bo, I think? Yeah, her name was Bo, and then
Yeah,
Bo's
her
like,
name's
haha, now I stab you.
Yeah. I'll
Get
tell you what.
stabbed, bitch. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, it's because like with Roadhouse, I said this in the last like 15 minutes. For some reason, Roadhouse just kind of becomes Rambo. Like he just like goes around and just kills people and throws a bear on someone. It's funny. I was talking with one of my friends in the drive-in, which, by the way, is Saturday nights, 10 p.m. In the Discord server. If you want to come watch the film with us,
It's a great time.
it is a great time. When that happens, someone in the thing, because we try and relate the films together, unless like very very barely, and someone said. How are you gonna relate this to crap, what was the last film we watched? Beetlejuice. Someone was like, how are you gonna relate this to Beetlejuice? And I went, how are we gonna relate it to and then someone else went, how are you gonna relate it to Roadhouse? And it's just so true.
It's true.
It's just,
Okay. And the way we did it in the end is there's an episode of the Beetlejuice animated show.
yes,
Called
this
Uncle
was
BJ's
so
Roadhouse.
weirdly specific.
Yeah, I think it's like season 2, episode 11, called Uncle
BJ's Roadhouse. Which
Okay.
you shit on the Beetlejuice animated series, but I actually thought it was quite good.
I've never seen it,
It's good.
so I'll give it a watch. I'll tell you what.
I like the artwork.
From an
anyway.
actor's perspective, no, it looks really nice. Like it looks very well animated. From an actor's perspective, these characters are, and pardon my language, dog shit.
Oh, a million%, yeah.
If I received this script, even if I'd never worked in a film before and this was like a big break film, I would turn this script down.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you why. The only character you care about is Dalton's son and the uncle, because they're related to a character that you know already. And even then, Dalton was just a guy who had some training and knew what he was doing. Shane is, we're led to believe, a DEA agent who's obviously great with women, and he's the male fantasy in this scenario.
Yeah.
Men want to be him, women want to be with him. It's that whole fucking stupid thing.
Yeah, that beautiful, shitty.
And then every other character in this movie is just, they can have one line. They can have one line. We don't need to flesh out their story. They're not important.
Yeah.
Like I tell you what, I just remembered. There's a character in this movie. There are 3 villains in this movie, technically. There's Evil Jeff, Wild Bill, and then the guy who works at the bar.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, there was
The other bouncer.
It's because they wanted like the portrayal thing, like in the original one, where the guy who gets fired, like, oh, you don't have the temperament for it. He's like, well, then to get back at you, I'm gonna work for the guys who you're trying to like. That made sense. This guy was just a dick.
He was like, that guy's gone. I run the bar now.
Yeah,
It's like, that's not how that works, Chief.
Lewis? I don't
Louis.
know. Don't ask me names of
Lewis.
things.
Do you want to know something funny? I don't even think he's credited on Wikipedia, so I'm going to look him up on IMDb. Once again, we have spent so much time talking about a film that we just hate so much.
Well, this was said. so 9 people watched Roadhouse 2 in our little drive-in in our movie night.
Yeah.
To which it was said, this is the most amount of people that have ever watched Roadhouse 2.
Literally.
Sorry, why are you apologizing? Shut up. Wait, I'm allowed to swear. Shut the fuck up. Cool. So, I'm gonna
I've
give
got it.
you-
I've just remembered something.
What?
There's a third character who gets seriously injured and still survives.
Wait, let me see if I can remember. Okay, so there's the uncle.
Yep.
Who gets stabbed 3 times.
I guess there's 4 technically. Oh no, I guess it's
So
3.
let me.
Yeah, the uncle that gets stabbed 3
The
times.
uncle gets stabbed 3 times. There's the like sheriff man who finally stands up to Wild Bill.
His name was Luther, by the way.
I don't give a shit.
Luther Keys.
And who were the other 2? There was the guy
There's
who
one
looked
more.
like Richard Attenborough. Put me out of my misery. Who was it?
I don't suppose you remember that other bartender who does the robot.
Oh
and
yeah, that
gets-
fucking guy who was like, oh,
Yes!
they call me the robot. It's like, what the fuck is happening? Are we supposed to give a shit about him?
It's- And then he shows up at the end in crutches. It's like, why is no one who's like a good guy die in this movie?
Everywhere you look, everywhere
It's
you
literally
look.
how this movie ends.
Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
it's
dun,
so
dun.
bad. So bad.
Awful.
And so what rating is this movie? Is it PG-13?
No, it's an 18.
Why?
There are too many titties for it to not be an 18.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
There are way too many for it to be anything
Yeah.
under an 18.
I cannot believe that this movie got made.
Me neither.
Actually, yes, I
So,
can. I can.
In the final
this
scene,
economy.
let's cut to conclusion time. So, in the like
yeah.
big ultimate, especially for TV boobies. I know, right? Right? Because this was a straight to TV film, so it's like, how are they allowed that many boobies? Anyway, is it like Skinamax or something? Anyway, so
Probably.
in the end of this film, in this 1.5 hour shit show, toward the end, the big like scene at the end, I can't remember most of it. I'll be 100% honest with you. I remember that
Me neither.
people were just shooting people, and then Dalton's son, Dalton kid, like somehow ended up in the Pelican, and like
A guy came up to him. His buddy from the DEA was like, "He's inside upstairs."
which that's another
And
thing.
then
There was some kind of like older guy who kept getting called down from New York to Louisiana, because he was trying to like do a big bust, but like he couldn't because it was out of his jurisdiction. And he was like kind of supposed to be like Shane Tanner's like Wade Garrett, but we never learn anything about him. He just kind of shows up and then leaves when the bust goes bad. I don't know who he was.
Yeah.
Kind of older DEA guy.
I don't. It's never mentioned. I don't think. Like,
No,
it's
he's
literally
never
no-
mentioned his name, never mentioned who he actually is. But yeah, anyway, so he's like, ew, he's inside, and then he goes inside, and then it's revealed, not revealed, but it's like brought up. I made this joke, but I'm gonna make it again. Basically, what happens is, he admits, "Oh, it was me who killed your dad, who was supposed to kill you." So it's like, "Oh no, what? Crazy!" And then when that happened, just because he had the like shitty blonde hair and was an asshole, I just went, obviously from Back to the Future 2, 2 McFlys with the same gun. Because I thought it was very funny. But yeah, and that's.
Here's the thing. Do you know what specifically about that line really pissed me off?
What?
The fact that he said, "I get to kill father and son the same way." is what he says.
Is it? I don't
But
even
you didn't kill
remember.
Dalton. Yeah. I remember because it really made me mad because it's
'Cause
not true.
Yeah,
At that point,
he
he's
killed him in a
using a
car.
chain to fight him off.
Yeah.
What? He shot him in the head.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But he took
Yeah, he
the
shot him, he
car,
killed him with a
so he
gun.
got shot
Yeah,
while
yeah,
driving
yeah.
a car. That's not killed the same way.
And you're fighting him off with a chain?
Yeah, exactly. Getting bludgeoned with a
Rub up,
chain is
like-
not the same as getting shot in a car. So it's yeah.
He
Absolutely. And
shoots you in
then-
a car,
and then
he hits me with the chain, we're not the same, hun.
literally. And then in the stupidest, in the worst visual effects that I've seen in a while, the lost my train of thought. Yeah, so
Shane throws him through a window, doesn't
he gets thrown through a window. And let me tell you something. There is this thing in Hollywood called sugar glass. In the early 50s and 60s, they made it out of real sugar, especially with black and white film, because you can't tell the difference. However, in more recent times, we use a special plastic resin mix, which upon any impact shatters, but actually looks like real glass.
And it's used in this movie in a previous scene.
Which is used in this movie in a previous scene. Now, this stuff is relatively cheap and easy. You can only really get one shot once it breaks, but it looks like real glass. It's still called sugar glass because the original was called sugar glass, but it's not made of sugar anymore. Anyway, when he gets pushed out of the window, it is very clear that he is just doing this in front of a green screen, and then really fake, shitty shards of, like, CGI glass that look so obviously fake. Like, desperately fake. They look terrible. Come raining down in all directions, which wouldn't happen. They would go outwards because of the impact, but instead they just fall downward because they probably just found some, like, green screen footage of glass falling. To which he dies, like Cable Guy style, but not actually Cable Guy, because in Cable Guy you think that it's gone through his chest, but it actually hasn't. But he lies full spread eagle, with the Black Pelican, which is referenced like once, like the.
And I'll tell you what, it's so ham-fisted, isn't it? Because he picks it up and puts it there.
Yeah.
It's like, this is my bird, and then he leaves it there like an idiot.
And then he falls, and it impales him, and he dies. That's the big, climax of the film.
I've got it up on YouTube.
Oh, have you actually?
Yeah, and it's just awful, man.
Very good. Very good. But yeah, then you find out they all live happily ever after, basically. All of the people who you thought were dead were actually alive. Everything's fine. Cool. Is basically how this film ends. No repercussion for anything. Absolutely no consequence. Everyone is just fine.
But you know what the worst part of the movie is? For real this time.
Hit me.
There's no fucking throat rip.
I know.
I waited for the whole movie.
It's the whole movie being
to see
like,
one.
maybe there'll be a throat rip. But no.
Not one, Sammy.
Not one throat rip.
Don't watch this movie. It's not worth it.
Don't watch this film. There's no throat rip.
How many pins out of 10 would you give this movie?
0. It's not worth the watch.
I would agree. This
Just
is a gutter ball for
don't.
me. Fully.
Yeah, my favorite brings up a good point. The pelican's beak is pointing downwards. How did he land on it?
So the pelican has like hair.
Yeah, it's like it's not even the pelican beak. Like, it's so stupid. Absolutely so stupid.
He would have bounced off of that.
Yeah.
It would have broken his back. It would not have gone through him, but it would have really hurt himself, but he wouldn't have died.
Super stupid.
The pelican should have been looking up for sure.
This film is an incredible disappointment. Don't watch it. I'm sad that I did.
Me too. Nigel's right, yeah, the big drug lord who was like set up to be the big villain, he just gets arrested.
Yeah, he just gets arrested. Like, there's no... Like, Wild Bill should have been arrested.
And like, here's the thing. The whole point of the movie was like, Wild Bill killed Dalton because the big drug lord, because Evil Jeff got arrested,
Yeah.
and Evil Jeff's just been arrested again. Who's gonna die next? Stupid.
Yeah. So, okay. So I think we are done talking about Roadhouse 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Should we talk about
I was going
some
to
other movie news?
Yeah, I was going to talk about movie news. So, I know I'm harping on a bit as well, but I really, really, really would encourage all you guys to check out the Kickstarter for Onyx the Fortuitous, the movie. The link is just onyxthemovie.com. I backed it on Kickstarter, and yeah, I'm super excited. It looks super good. It's got 17 days to go. I think it needs So if any of you guys are interested in helping this guy out, I would watch all his videos on it and stuff. Like I said, I've backed it on Kickstarter, and I think it's gonna be good. So, so if you can give anything to this guy, I think it would be worth it. Cool. But yeah, so that's my one, like, trying to help another creator out.
Finally got around to watching Tenet.
I still haven't seen it. I was gonna
It's
buy
bad.
it. I was gonna buy it yesterday, but then I bought Bill and Ted 3 instead.
Um,
They were the same price. Tenet
it's
and Bill and Ted 3 were the same price.
It's not a good movie.
I've been told that I mean, Nolan always does this, but I've been told that Nolan just completely surrounded himself with yes men.
He did. Yeah, no, 100%. The next Edgy Boy pick is going to be Donnie Darko.
It's gonna be Donnie
which we'll be watching
Darko.
on Saturday at 10 p.m. on the Discord server.
Saturday, 10 p.m. on the UK time on the server.
I'm very excited to watch this movie.
Me too.
Again.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Drew Barrymore, Patrick
'cause-
Swayze.
Yeah.
So-
But Swayze does. Spoiler alert: Swayze does touch kids
Well, yeah.
in this movie. I see. For me, it's funny that we're talking about Tenet and Donnie Darko, because Donnie Darko does time jumps very well. Tenet does not.
Yeah.
The acting's not great in it. It's very much. It was very much Nolan North. Sorry. Nolan basically, from what I can gather and from what I've seen in like interviews and things, he wrote out the plot of the movie, and no one looked over it.
Yeah. I have been told that.
They were just like, whatever you want to make, you make, and we'll give you the money. And this is what happened. And it's okay. I would watch it if you're into spectacle films, if you just
Right.
want to put something on. But like it's one of those classic like Nolan films where it's like if Inception didn't have a conclusion.
Right. Okay.
It's very, very tough to like really get into.
Did you see that the Oscar nominations have come out?
Have they?
They have.
I bet they're crap. Let's take a look.
Well,
Okay, straight up. Every single person
yeah.
watching this stream, as soon as you can, it's not out yet, but keep an eye on it. Sound of Metal.
Sound of Metal.
This movie is beautiful. I have to do a scene from it for my Screen Masters demo. And it's not out yet, but it's about it's basically explores the relationship between
Sorry, was it called Sound of Metal?
Sound of Metal.
Because there's also
It's about-
there's also a 2019 film called Sound of Metal,
Is actually
which is about a drummer.
that's it. That's the one.
Oh, well, this one says it's from 2019. Oh,
Yeah.
17th of May 2021 is when it's going to be released here,
Yes.
apparently.
Everyone should watch this movie when it's available here. It's about a drummer who loses his hearing, and he has to learn how to live
Jeez.
with it. And it's so poignant and beautiful. I got to read the script before I saw the movie, and
Nice.
the characters are very real. I think you would actually love it from a filmmaker's perspective.
And from
I
an
forgot-
obvious sick drummer perspective.
Yeah, it's about. I think his name's Riz Ahmed. Riz Ahmed. Who's like the main actor in it.
Yeah, Riz Ahmed.
Yeah, Riz Ahmed. And he, from all of the bits that I've seen, his performance in it is, I think he deserves an award.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, keep an eye on it. Were they brothers, the writers?
I can't.
Darius and Abraham Marder.
I'm going to.
I'm just assuming.
Yes.
I'm just assuming based on the last names that they're the same.
I'm going to say yes. I think it's a bit like the Coen brothers.
Yeah. Or the Russo brothers.
Or the Russo brothers.
He didn't know sign or how to play drums. He learned both. Really?
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
go him.
Um.
That's sick as hell.
Yeah, and it's this guy's feature debut, the director's feature debut.
Nice.
And
Yeah, no, don't. And I like that it's specifically a heavy metal drummer. I like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
as well.
and it's okay. So the best way I can describe it is it like the music isn't the main part of the film.
Right.
It's his struggle learning how to cope
Yeah.
without sound, and there's this. It's about his journey of overcoming like addiction and kind of learning how to be alone with his own thoughts. And it kind of, and when I read it, I connected with it on the level, on like a really deep level, purely because it's about learning how to slow down
Right.
and be okay within yourself.
Okay.
And there's I can't remember if it's like the last shot of the movie, but he's sat in a park, and there are like kids running around him, and he's just sat, and the whole movie is silent, and there's just nothing,
That's insane.
and it's just so incredible. And I
Apparently,
really
it's
want to watch it.
available in the States already and is on Nigel's
Yeah.
watch list. Nice.
Yeah, give it
Yeah,
a watch.
nice.
I'd love to know everyone's opinion.
I might VPN that then if it's already available in the States. I might watch that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that sounds awesome. I will say, just while we're talking about Moberry said that he learned sign and he learned the drums, which is really cool. The fact that we don't all know ASL or BSL, depending on what country you're from, is honestly so insulting. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, if you haven't learned BSL, then you're horrible. No, what I'm saying is, why is it
Do you
not
know?
why is it not a mandatory language? Well,
Yeah.
So I know a little bit of sign language.
Okay.
So I know some BSL. I don't know any ASL. Just because I don't live in America. So I know some BSL. I haven't done it in a while, so I'd have to go over my. I have like a book, but I know like important stuff. Like if someone got into an accident, so I can be like hurt where, so I can be like where do you hurt? Just
Yeah.
some stuff like that. I used to know the alphabet. Yeah, I can remember the alphabet.
I have said this
but
so many times.
But it should be a mandatory thing. Like instead of French and
Yeah.
Spanish, because like
That's what I said. That's what I say.
if you never, because I know so many people who have never left their hometown, let alone the country. So you're way more likely to encounter someone who can't hear but can sign than you are someone who only speaks French. Yeah, everyone should know sign language. Like they should make it a G. I think they recently made it an actual GCSE. GCSE, in case you aren't aware, is the UK
like the exams you do when you turn 16, to get into a college, and then sign "I love you."
Oh.
That's what it is. But yeah, thank you for making me do that. I might actually have to brush up on my BSL, and
Well,
I'll add...
I've always wanted to learn, so I'd be if you ever wanted to like do courses and stuff, I'd happily jump
I mean,
on with you.
I'm not I don't have a qualification in BSL.
No, I mean like if you wanted to learn, like I'd happily like if you
Yeah.
wanted to like team up so that we
Yeah,
could
yeah,
learn how
learn
to
how to
speak
do it.
BSL, I'd be 100% down for that.
Trying to going back to movie news about this week. Did y'all see Cherry? Because I sure as hell didn't.
I haven't seen it,
The Tom
and I
Holland.
don't intend to.
Apparently, it's incredibly disappointing.
Well, yeah,
Apparently, it's terrible.
yeah. Fuck, what did I say? I think I don't know. Did we speak about this before?
I don't think we did. I don't remember talking about Cherry.
I might have talked about it with some other friends. I saw the trailer and
Oh,
immediately.
you have other friends?
Sorry, I'm sorry to break it to you. I saw the trailer, and my immediate reaction was, okay, so they're basically directing another Spider-Man film, and that's basically it. Like I knew it was going to be bad when, at the end of the trailer, he turns and talks to the camera,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, I get it, but all I can see is Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Yeah, there is that kind of issue. Of seeing things as one thing. But yeah, I think that just about wraps us up.
Yeah. Sorry about the little tangent at the end there.
No. Well, we said we wanted a section talking about film news. I know we talked about BSL for a bit, but
Important subjects.
So there are two people that are alive already. Cam on the Cob, I've already rated him a couple times. There's someone called Koi, who's a tattoo artist, streamer who I follow. They're pretty cool. So maybe we'll raid them. But yeah, thank you all for coming to see the Edgy Boi Picture Show and having to listen to us talk about Roadhouse 2 for this long. Just a few bits of housekeeping. Number one, make sure you join the Discord if you aren't there already. Number two, tonight at around 7 o'clock, so in about an hour or so, just gives me time to make some dinner, we're going to be watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in the drive-in. It's not for anything. It's not, for any, it's not for an Edgy Boi Picture Show. It's just, I was going to watch it and figured, hey, maybe you guys would want to watch it with me too. Because why not? It's going to be fun.
And it's a good film. They're all good films.
They're great films. I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, the end of Draw for You. Sorry. Yeah. But yes, next week, Donnie Darko, Saturday night, 10 p.m. UK time in the Discord server, in the drive-in channel. Yeah, tonight, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Wednesday, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And Friday, Bill and Ted Face the Music. So we're going to be watching the Bill and Ted trilogy this week just because I felt like it. You don't get to tell me what to do. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining us. Let's go raid Koi. Let me get up their stream first. Cool.
Yeah.
Come on, phone. You can
And also, make sure you tune in next Monday so I can tell you the story about how I first saw Donnie Darko.
Yes,
And
because I
absolutely
actually haven't seen it.
Have you never seen it?
No.
Oh, dude, you're in for a good treat. You're in for
I
a real
hope so.
good treat.
Very much
Yeah.
hope so. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's hop on a raid.
Yeah.
Cool. Ugh. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Kat. And if you're
thank
watching us
you.
on YouTube right now, you could have been watching us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Sammy_P71, Mondays, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah, and we love you. All right, goodbye, guys.
You do. Bye.
We have to go back.